back, everyone. It's been a while, but here we are on week 17 of Sack to the Future's first season, 1960. There you see the record. The Chiefs, or back in 1960 known as the Dallas Texans, come in at 10-5, still with a chance to grab the last wild card spot against the Denver Broncos, who are 13-2. And actually do still have a chance to get home field throughout the playoffs, but that would mean that the Oilers would have to lose to a semi-pro team. So I'm pretty sure the Broncos are slotted in at the number 2 seed, but it's always good to beat a playoff caliber team heading into the playoffs. The Texans, or Chiefs if you will, on the other hand, are the second best passing team in the league. And there you see they are one game behind the Chargers for that last wild card spot. If the Chiefs can win and the Chargers lose, I believe the Dallas Texans will make the playoffs. But I said a moment ago, the Dallas Texans are the number 2 aerial attack in football here in 1960. And the only team they are behind, the Chargers. So they're behind them in both passing offense, proficiency, and the playoffs right now. Here you see the Broncos have had an amazing year. If you followed along or caught some of the games here along the way, you'll see that the Broncos have become a 13-2 team. Definitely by becoming a team together. They've won multiple overtime games. Bernardi, the corner, has come through with many clutch interceptions, either ice games or returning for pick sixes. I mean, it's been a crazy year. There you see Cotton Davidson, 20 touchdowns, only 3 interceptions. When I get the ball, you should be able to see Trapuka, on the other hand, has thrown over 20 interceptions. So the offense has turned the ball over. They're middle of the pack in offensive ratings. The defense is middle of the pack in defensive ratings. But they are, they are 13-2 because they just play right at the right moments. And also, of course, this is the first season, so the computer opponents have been set to a very a level that was intended to make sure we could win most, if not all, the games against the computer. So as the Sack to the Future progresses, we will see if we make the computer opponents a little harder. Naturally, they'll get harder because there'll be less semi-pro teams in the league as more teams start to join. Next year, the Vikings will join as a real team. But yeah, if we were up a level right now, the Broncos certainly would not be 13-2. I would say they'd probably be more like 8-7. So, whereas the Bears could use more challenge from the computer, the Broncos find it just fine. Just fine the way it is. So number 2 passing offense goes 3 and out. It's good to see that. Now real time between from week 15 to week 17 here for the Broncos, in real time has taken about 2 months. so I already have thrown 23 interceptions. You might see some more today, unless I just call out running plays. Hey Vinny, what's up? Probably going to start out with a run play here, since it has been so long. All my settings are messed up. Got the camera way zoomed in, but we'll figure it out. Looks like the Saints are going to go ahead and win that all semi-pro division. Here's a look at Carmichael last week. He did go over 100 yards, just barely. And week 17 is full of a lot of division games, of course, and certainly some playoff implications. This game has implications for the Dallas Texans if the Chargers lose. And then Vinny has just informed us that the Bills will play the Dolphins tomorrow morning. That is very important, as the Bills are one of the two user teams that have not yet clinched the playoff spot. They are currently tied with the New York Titans for that division. The Titans, we might see some flashes of their scores at the bottom. I believe the Titans playing at the same time as us, but the Bills and Dolphins will be in the AM. And if you're not going to tune in because you're like, wait a minute, the Dolphins weren't around in 1960, that means they're a semi-pro team. I encourage you to go ahead and tune in, because the Dolphins gave the Bills a scare the last time. So it is, for some of these lower, well, at least rating-wise, the lower seeds of the inaugural year of the AFL, like the Broncos and the Bills, the computer's definitely a tough opponent for them. So doesn't matter what the ratings are, it's a tough game. There you look at the Chiefs defense. Sorry, the Dallas Texans defense. I recognize a couple of names there, a couple of studs on their team. And it apparently, well, if Vinny's got his facts right, and he usually does, it looks like not only do the Bills need to beat the Dolphins, but they need the New York Titans to lose. I believe they have a tied record, but because a tiebreaker, if they finish tied, it sounds like the Titans will be the team that's in the playoffs. There's Tripucka to Taylor. Tripucka finally attempts a pass, and it's not picked off, so that's a good start. And there's the Chargers. The Texans will have one eye on that scoreboard. Of course, they have to find a way to beat the Broncos here. Okay. There it is, Titans, Dolphins. I'm sorry, Bills, Dolphins. Oh, Bell, who's now started the year, week 1 he was the starter. Lost his job to Mingo immediately. Mingo is now hurt for the season. So Bell is back up to the number 2 spot after dropping from starter to the 3 position. He's now back up to 2, getting more playing time again. There you see Jacksonville would have to beat the Houston Oilers in the Oilers' home stadium, which is Tennessee for whatever reason. And that's just not going to happen. Oh, did Taylor come down with that? What a catch by Lionel Taylor. Tripucka. And that's why he has as many touchdown passes as interceptions. That could have been either a touchdown or an interception, depending who jumped higher. Taylor came down with it. Here we go, just lofted up. Who wants it more? My guy wants it more, thankfully. Touchdown. Good positioning, but no vertical for the Dallas Texan guy. Oh, the wind is blowing today. Pick is up, and that's good. That was Herring, I hope, because Mingo, of course, is hurt. Now, Mingo, the running back, is out for the season. He's on IR, but Mingo is also the kicker. So the way Madden works, of course, we have to make Mingo 2 different players. So the running back's on IR. There's no way he's getting a carry. The kicker is not. Madden thinks he's perfectly fine, so they will try to sneak him in. But I checked before the game, and I still had Herring as the kicker, so hopefully we won't see Mingo sneak onto the field. Oh, it's a final. Green Bay beat Detroit. That was basically a game to decide who was going to get a wild card spot. Green Bay snatches it. And that might be bad for the Cowboys. Have to go back and look, but I know the Cowboys had the tiebreaker with the Packers, but I think they might be losing the tiebreaker to the Lions, so that Packer win might push the Cowboys out. I hope not, though. See a look at the Broncos defensive line. Linebackers. Pete Mangum leads the team in sacks. He has 10. And why do they continue to take out Bernardi, who's been basically my defensive MVP this year? You would think on a human-controlled team that unless you tell something to be messed up with your depth chart, that they would just leave it alone. But there he is, third again. All right. Bernardi's back in there. Never know when you're going to need another key interception. Okay, now the Texans can strike any given moment. They are the number 2 passing offense in the league coming into today. There's a pattern to the sidelines. He does not come down with it inbounds, though. Now, Vinny, if you can hear me, has there been any thoughts on raising any of the sliders and or actually going up to the next level as far as the computer opponents? Like I was saying earlier, the Broncos certainly have challenging games against the computer, but they're only going to get better. I mean, their worst year, of course, was their inaugural 1960 season, so their ratings are going to get better. So I don't know. Okay, sounds good. Of course, the leagues, AFL and NFL, will certainly meet after this year. We'll see what next year brings. There you take a look at the playoff picture. There you see the Bills right now in the hunt, whereas the New York Titans are the division winner, but that can still change. You also saw the Chargers in and the Texans out. That's the other thing that can change. Technically, the 1 and 2 seeds could change, but again, that would mean the Oilers, who have been the best team in the AFC, would have to lose to a semi-pro team. So, not holding our breath. There's a good game down below. The Broncos and Eagles both 10-5. But like I just said, I'm afraid, hopefully I read it wrong, but I thought that the Cowboys, obviously the loser's out at 10-6. But if the Cowboys win and get to 11-5, I thought that they needed the Packers to be the team that was 11-5. Since the Packers won and they're 12-4, they're in. And now since the Lions are 11-5, there it is. I think the Lions at 11-5 might be in. And there's nothing the Cowboys can do about it. Again, I hope I'm wrong. But it could be bad news for Brian Feltz and the Dallas Cowboys. On the other hand, it's also bad news for the Philadelphia Eagles, who in real life won the championship in 1960. They might miss the playoffs. If if you're an Eagle fan, if you don't know by now, there's 2 humans in that division. The Giants and Cowboys are both user-controlled. So if you're an Eagles fan, or of course a Redskins fan, it's going to be tough viewing, as I don't expect those teams to make the playoff very often. Now, I think that we have gotten better. At least I know I've gotten better throughout the season. But there's still there's no way that we'll ever be playing on all Madden or anything crazy like that. So you're certainly not going to see the computer teams beat the user teams, more than 50% of the time or anything crazy. So it's always going to be tough when you're a computer team and there's multiple users in your division. That is also the case with the way the league is set up right now with Madden rules. It's also the case for the AFC South, as the Colts and Oilers are both user teams. However, the 2 AI opponents are semi-pro Jacksonville and Houston Texans anyways. So that's even more extreme. You have the worst rated teams in the league controlled by the computer in a division with 2 users. So that's the way it should be, though, when they're not even in the league. And the theme today, if you haven't noticed, has been Tripucka safe passes. So 23 interceptions is a ridiculous amount to have thrown heading into the playoffs. So this game, of course they want to beat the Chiefs, make sure they knock them out of the playoffs. Sorry, the Dallas Texans. But even more important than that is get their offense into a rhythm, make them realize they don't have to turn the ball over 2 to 4 times a game, because when you're playing playoff teams starting next week, you need to play better. There's a first down by Carmichael, 40 yards on 8 carries. There's Carpenter for the touchdown. Now the Broncos, Lionel Taylor missed about 6 to 7 weeks after being injured against the Giants. So that plays a role. But their 3 receivers, I think McNamara leads the team with 58 or 59 receptions. And then Carmichael and Taylor are both over 50. So they have 3 receivers, all with over 50 receptions, but none of them have 60 receptions yet. So good news is, I guess, a defense doesn't ever know who to double cover because they're basically 3 receivers with the same stats. If you want to say there's bad news, it's that none of the 3 have separated themselves as a quote-unquote star receiver. Lionel Taylor was on his way to doing that, but then he got injured, and he hasn't quite been the same coming back. In fact, Carpenter has probably, when Taylor first went out, McNamara shot up and he was really filling in great, but then, lately, that's not good. That is not good. Oh my gosh, he's going to return it. I was going to say in this broadcast at some point that besides the Chiefs having the second best passing offense, they also have, I believe he's the 3rd best kick returner in the league, and that is his 2nd kick return for a touchdown. Just made one move, and speed kills is what they say. Look at him. Yeah, it's not. All right, we got to stop from that from happening. Offense is in the rhythm, but the special teams does not need to be playing like that going into the playoffs. Guy was kind of jacked for being a kicker. Of course, in 1960, kickers were football players as well, meaning that they, for the most part, they were not just kickers on the team, they also played a regular non-special teams position. All right, Tripucka. Total yards, the Dallas Texans have -10, but they have 7 points. Oh. Oh no. Okay. Looks like it's a Dallas Texan that's hurt. It was a good effort here. Carmichael breaks one tackle. Stiff arm there. And gets pushed out of bounds. Injury happened somewhere on the sidelines there. I think it was the second guy that came in. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. Have we gotten an update on the Patriots and Titans yet? That was a dangerous pass. Not do things like that. Okay. It was my guy. Oh, it's a dislocated finger? Well, it's the last game. Pretty sure I'm the 2 seed regardless, so no reason to risk injury. Oh, stupid. Big hole, I run into my blocker instead.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Oh, looks like the Patriots beat the New York Titans. So there you go. That opens the door for the Buffalo Bills. So now you must tune in tomorrow. The Bills will be playing to win the division. That, of course, on the Vinny X Wolf channel. All right. That was almost blocked. Instead, it goes into the end zone for a touchback.
Seahawks, Niners, Rams, and then that's it for the 2017 regular season. It'll be Happy New Year time.
There's a handoff to Haynes. Loses a yard. He has 5 yards now on 3 carries.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
It's a draw play. King brings him down with the help of the Romine. And here is a 3rd and 7. Late on the takeoff, and that's not going to get past the lineman. Davidson's now 2 for 3 with 16 yards. And the Broncos might be in for a game here.
Nice little under route there.
once Davidson gets rolling. Look at that. It wasn't even close. The Titans. I believe the Titans were something like 6-2. And they finished 8-8. They certainly didn't want the division. Hopefully the Buffalo Bills want it. Let's get in there, Vinny, and win that thing.
Success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9. Let's go!
3-19. I know you might be saying, well, wait a minute. If the Bills go to 9-7 and get in the playoffs, then the Broncos have another user team that they have to beat to make it to the Super Bowl. Wouldn't you want the New York Titans in there instead? And yes, the Titans are a pathetic 8-8 computer-controlled team. But what fun is it? The user versus user games is where the action is at. Although this game is certainly competitive, the Chargers are always competitive. I don't know if I've played the New York Titans, but I just assume the game would be much better against the Bills than against the Titans. Now watch, the Bills will win the division and then knock the Broncos out of the playoffs. Oh, what? I missed 2 tackles. Okay. I'm worried about my offense. I better get my defense learning how to play before the playoffs start here. Now they look all confused. Everyone's standing up. Nobody covers that guy. Luckily, he runs himself out of bounds. There's a priority alert. And the Chargers take a 3-0 lead, and that hurts what little Dallas Texan fans there are here. Goose, nah. See if we can get in. There we go. Nope, not in time. Did force Davidson to throw it early, though. He fires it into the ground. There's the little man, Bernardi. This was not the Raiders' year. The only team in the division that wasn't good. But, judging by, you know, the ratings I know that they have in store, they will certainly be a competitive rival for years to come. Okay, and the Texans will punt from the 46. 1 minute to go. The Broncos will have all 3 timeouts. Could have called timeout, saved 25 seconds there, but it's all right. And there's a spotlight on Henry Bell. 1 carry, -2 yards. So, unusual spotlight. There's a completion to Taylor. He gets not out of bounds. Up to the 42-yard line, and the Broncos all timeout.
The clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1.
Taylor makes the catch and rolls out of bounds. Taylor's 57th reception. His goal was 75. It's good to have lofty goals. He's not going to get there, though. And look at that. The Raiders have scored on the Chargers at 7-3 now. And that might have just woke the Texans up. That's intercepted. Safety was waiting for that pass all day. Gosh, dang it. Wow. 10 seconds later, the Chargers scored. So, 2 touchdowns in 10 seconds in that game. Friggin' Trapuka. 24 interceptions on the year. Really have got to stop being an idiot in the passing game. Really just going to have to learn patience in these playoffs because they're running, there's gaping holes. It's pretty easy if I don't run into my own blocker. But then for whatever reason, I get impatient and decide, oh, it's boring to run the ball. Let's throw it. Interception. Interception.
This is fielded at the goal line. He's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line.
And the Chargers score again. They might be clinching the playoff spot right there. Okay, let's see. Should we pick different passing schemes and see if we can get something going, or should we just make sure that we can at least run when the playoffs start? A couple yards, not much.
See if they do just that.
Not much happening there on first down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
Now let's go! Green 39! Green 39! Leopard! Leopard!
He'll drop to throw.
Oh, Carpenter takes a shot. President is on. Huh, how dare he interrupt Sack to the Future. I was not aware he was going to be on. Was he supposed to be on, or some sort of emergency that I should be paying attention to? Alright, well, for now, we will ignore the news and continue with our game. Okay, alright. Could be good or bad news depending on how you feel.
The numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, third quarter.
But at least it's action. At least it's not just let's, do nothing for another 6 months.
They have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
Oh, Carmichael picks the wrong hole. Alright. So now the Texans are showing me it's not just easy to run on us. You are going to have to do what you don't want to do and throw the ball.
Who's going to catch someone off guard? I feel like the offense thought they might catch the defense off balance with that play call, but unfortunately, that didn't work for them.
Dixon, the punter, is on as he sends it away.
Come on, get down that. And they do down it finally. Finally one that doesn't bounce into the end zone. So 5:05 to go in the third. This game is still close like all the Broncos games are. 14-7. Broncos have to find a way to win another close one. They're handling Haynes pretty well. 8 carries, 17 yards.
Do people use grease boards, or you mean the magic marker boards?
Yeah, those two.
Oh, Brown bounces off of a tackle. Luckily, his teammates are there to wrap up Haynes. The Niners and Rams locked in a scoreless battle. The Cardinals all over the semi-pro Seahawks. And that's out of bounds. Cotton Davidson fires it out of bounds. 4th and 4 coming up. And now Davidson will punt from his own end zone. Or will he throw it? Plays it straight, punts the ball. Decent return, 10 yards.
You can tend to play the field position game. You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead.
Taylor gets away from his man, makes the catch. Short gain of 4. 7 catches, 111 yards on the day.
Defense is when they see slant routes thrown, as if the receiver is on the move, and oftentimes he catches it and gets upfield. That's a really nice job rallying to him and stopping him for a minimum gain.
Back to throw here.
Oh, that's hit way up in the air. Interesting. Well read by Webster. And then he punched the ball into the air.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. The Broncos on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. They'll look to throw.
Taylor can't hang on. Nice hit. Had the first down, but then the hit jars the ball loose. And this game has turned very boring with, this is probably the 8th punt in a row ever since the kickoff return by the Texans. Oh! Downs it in the end zone, so that's a touchback.
Trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. But you got to just take a deep breath, relax, try to figure out what
There's a handoff to Haynes. He now has 10 carries for 20 yards. Little man Bernardi was there. This could be a risky blitz call. Nice tackle by Romine. Davidson 5 of 8, but only 29 yards. That is not going to pass the Chargers. So it looks like the Texans will not be the #1 passing offense when the season ends. Davidson finds the open man. Colts won, what is that, their 10th in a row? 13-3. They are a wild card team, but possibly the most feared team going to the playoffs. I don't think anyone wants any part of the Colts right now. Of course, the Oilers and Colts have played each other twice already, and they split that series. So if they do meet a 3rd time in the playoffs, that's going to be much watch. YouTube, as are all the playoff games. I'm lucky he went to the ground when he caught it because the blocking was superb. Took him so long to get off the ground, though. He only got a 4 or 5 yard gain out of it. Stupid. Should have been there. I wasn't. Come on, man.
The Chiefs have got the passing game rolling a bit, and another first down.
Cotton Davidson starting to get on a roll. Just getting closer by the second. And two Broncos are rolling around for no reason. Luckily, the third one stayed up and made the hit. Now, I can understand the Broncos not being amped up for this game. But they don't need to be playing this way going into the playoffs. Luckily, they are getting a bye week. Okay, work on some things. Late third. Broncos still up by 7, but Chiefs are driving. Johnson now has 2 carries for 2 yards, the backup running back.
The coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs. They'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action, hit them over the top.
Another handoff and another minimal gain. Brings up a 3rd and 8. Throws across his body, and that's incomplete. Davidson forced out to the left, throws to the right. Not much of a chance on that one. But it is only the 3rd quarter, so they can go for a field goal here.
He gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
I have still never blocked a kick, so that is one thing that I just cannot get correct. One of many things, but that is the one I feel like I'm no more closer to doing than I was the very first time I played Madden. Madden 18, that is. Obviously, the older Madden, some of them were completely impossible to block a kick. Oh, bounces off of one tackler and gets put down to his knees.
Now gearing up to lead this offense back out there. He has been consistent, hasn't he? He played well in the first quarter, good second quarter, and now continuing that here in the 3rd.
And that's the word that they're always seeking from the guy taking the snaps, is consistency. Taking care of the ball, making sure...
There's a big hole, or good blocking, I mean, to the left. Not really a hole, he just got past the last man in that open field. 76 yards on the day.
So the run gets them the first, and now they operate with a fresh set of downs.
Let's go! 3-19! Over!
Nice hands by the corner there, knocking the ball away. Also threw it a little too early.
That's very well timed there defensively, because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. This time he's got the hook up.
Completion to Jessup, short of the first though. And we have one more quarter remaining in the first season of Sack to the Future. Regular season, that is. 14-10 Broncos trying to go out on a winning note. And he'll fight for it. I don't know that he got it though. He's right at the line. He did get it. Good job.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there, and on that play, I saw defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing in a situation when they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it
There's a completion down the field. Chiefs 5th in the league in sacks, but they don't have one today.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage.
There's another well-played ball by Webster.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish.
Michael doesn't get much there. I mean, or Michael. Not Michael.
Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
Trapuka hits Taylor at the 13-yard line. Taylor's 9th catch of the contest.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack of finding his way open and completing the connection.
A lot of bodies in there.
Extra effort will be stopped short of the 10. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. The fourth quarter here, they got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, we're going to see more people stacked up in the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
Completion to Jessup. He gets down to the 4-yard line. Inches shy of the first.
Kyle Rudolph doing his job and making another nice catch. Come on, it's the month of December. You knew he was going to be there, right?
I knew you were going to go there. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've hit 4 of 7. They're looking at 3rd in the nose of the football.
There's Trapuka. Touchdown pass number 3. And the extra point is good. 21-10. Still almost 5 minutes left, so this thing's not over yet. Hopefully we'll get a score update on the Chargers-Raiders to see if the Texans have any reason to make a nice comeback or not. 50 yards per return today. 5-0. 50.
Look for the big track now, because as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Dang it. It's my guy, and I couldn't follow with him.
13 yards there and a Kansas City first down. They need a touchdown, the 2-point conversion, and a field goal. Pretty good start to the drive, though.
Yeah, good start to the drive, but the urgency has to really be increased by both the players on the field and everyone on the sidelines. Got to make sure everyone is up and into this game.
Quickly here, and that's complete.
Cotton Davidson, 11 of 15. He's up to 97 yards now.
A gain of 6 there on first.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game. Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown.
Complete to Boyston. I saw that nobody was covering the middle, but I just couldn't get there in time. That's his 6th catch for 90 yards. Should probably cover that guy.
Let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels.
Here we go now. 3-19.
So is the announcement anything of importance, or was it just
face it, perfection is something we all chase.
saying that they need to get a judge in there.
Searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
So the incomplete pass brings up second down.
Second and 10.
And he comes back with one complete. And he's brought down. The Chiefs have got the passing game rolling a bit. And another first down. Well, correct me if I'm wrong. You're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet.
We'll see if they can actually get him to go through. Hopefully they do before we get too close to Election Day, and then of course the government does nothing. There's a nice sack and an injury. That's Pyatt. That's only like his 4th sack, but it was a good time for one. Second and 18 now. Brown has to come and kick him off the pile so he actually touches the ground.
Tyreek Hill had the 2 fastest plays in the NFL last year. One on a kick return, one on a punt return, topping out at 23.24 miles per hour.
That's advanced analytics right there. Our guy Mark,
Okay, 3rd and 3. Big play here. And Brown read it right. Every once in a while he can read the run beautifully. He reads the passes okay, but he usually doesn't have enough speed to cover the guy that he sees get open. Okay, so they are. And 4th and 6, they're going to elect to go for the field goal first. Come back for the touchdown later. 12 yards away, I probably would have went for it here. Left the field goal for later, but they do get the 3 points, so technically it's still a 1-possession game. There's your updates. Only 1-possession game there on the Chargers as well. So right now it looks bad for the Dallas Texans, but they are 1 touchdown away from tying, and the Chargers are just 1 touchdown away from losing their lead, so still possible. And there is the touchdown. The Raiders have just tied it 17 apiece. And if you're ever going to see the Dallas Texans come out hitting hard, it might be this drive after they've just been told the Chargers are in a tie game late in the 4th.
confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory. Why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
And there's Carmichael, bounces off of 1 and gets the first down. 18 carries, 95 yards on the day. And that'll take us to the 2-minute warning.
Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. So it's Bronco football as we get your reset here. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. They run the counter now on 1st down.
There's a timeout for the Dallas Texans. I almost said Chiefs again.
7 yards to go on 2nd down.
Again, you can see the Bills tried to make the playoffs tomorrow morning. Oh, he couldn't hang on. I thought the corner was peeling off for the other receiver. He tricked me. Webster. He's had a pretty good game. Took 1 step that way. I unloaded the ball, and then he knew I was going to Carpenter. Comes back and delivers a nice hit. 3rd and 7 now. They're going to get the ball with 2 timeouts. I can either make them waste a timeout, or I can go for the 1st down. Well, let's see here. If I can even find a play in time.
The Broncos on third down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This is 3rd and 7.
And he dropped it. All right. The Texans do what they needed to do. They're still alive for a playoff spot.
I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion, and both sides trying to get to the football.
Another tough game for the Broncos.
Or bad for your team.
Anyways, I was going to say, you got the Bills going for a playoff spot tomorrow. The Dallas Cowboys, hoping that the Lions have not shut them out of any chance to make it. Cowboys will be playing for a spot in the next couple of days. The Bears will try to finish the regular season undefeated. That's something to look forward to as well. That should be coming up tomorrow, possibly tomorrow night. Yeah, it should be tomorrow night. So we got a lot of games coming up here as we get back on track and get back to a little bit quicker, or at least try to, you know, do a week during a week. But of course, real life gets in the way. Everybody has to work. We've also had multiple movings going on, and that, if you've ever moved, you know that that will completely derail any kind of fun you had planned.
The Chiefs on third down. They're right at about the league average.
Power almost went out in the stadium, but looks like we're fine. Sun's out anyway, so not sure why we need power.
And that'll drive coaches crazy.
Scoreboard, I guess.
On dealing with loud crowds, on dealing with motion, and then you have a guy jump.
So the Texans not doing themselves any favor. They back themselves up to the 3-yard line. And 96 seconds remain. They have to go 97 yards. They need a yard a second. Davidson gets it away. That was a nice catch if he made it. He did make the catch at the 18-yard line. Very nice. Yeah, no doubt, Vinny. Everyone busy. Said if it's not work, it's some personal stuff going on. Half the owners moved at the same time. Oh, Davidson gets away from the first guy, but then just sits there for a half hour and lets me get him for a safety. Cotton Davidson just threw away his team's chances of making the playoffs. Look at this. First of all, this is a good move to get away from the first guy. Safety, nope. And then he stands there and takes the safety. Come on, man.
After the safety, remember, they also need to give up the football, and here's the free kick. They find some open field here.
Okay. Should be able to ice it here. They have one timeout. Broncos look like they will finish 14-2. Oh, Carmichael breaks another tackle. He's broken quite a few tackles today. Carmichael's ready for the playoffs. Tripucka, he's done all right. He just needs to not throw interceptions in the playoffs. The record says the Broncos are great at 14-2. But if you watch the game, you know they are not. They win their games single digits most of the time. Just not a lot of room for error. They cannot be throwing interceptions in the playoffs. I mean, the Bears shouldn't either, but you can just, I mean, as the person playing the games, I can just tell the talent level is different, and they can get over a few turnovers with their defense. But Broncos need to play basically perfect if they're going to do the seemingly impossible and make it to the Super Bowl in their first year. We will see, though. This week, we still have John M. will be bringing you those Oilers who will be looking to clinch. They do have to win now because of this Broncos win. The Oilers do have to win. So they'll have to play at least half-heartedly against that semi-pro team. So you can see that in the John M. channel. He'll also bring you the Giants game, who I believe have already clinched the division. They're definitely in the playoffs, and I think they're division winners. Brian Phelps will be bringing you the Browns, who are already in, but Jim Brown's coming back, so that should be exciting. And the Cowboys, who I hope still have a chance, but may have been eliminated today when the Packers beat the Lions. Vinny tomorrow morning will be bringing you the Buffalo Bills chance. And tomorrow night on this channel, you will see the Bears try to finish undefeated. No playoff implications at all, but they are trying to remain undefeated, so tune in for that. Thank you for watching, everyone. Have a good night. Vinny, I will be listening to the game tomorrow from work. Always good to listen to. Hopefully I'll go back and watch some of the things as well. But good luck tomorrow. Everyone else, see you when the Bears play tomorrow. Good night. It's not.